This fable is sponsored by Craftsy. But you can see that we've got several pieces here. They're all staring at me accusatorily, wondering where the hell I've been all summer. I was doing a play, okay? I was in a play. I'm an actor, and y'all should have come, but you didn't. You just sat here and moped. Every person has a story. And you know what? So does every piece of furniture. Come along with me today, and I'll tell you a furniture fable. Hi, everyone. I am Andy. Welcome to Furniture Fables, where there is furniture. It's happening. There is furniture. I just picked up this table, this coffee table. It's probably from the 80s, maybe the 90s. The young man who listed it, and he said, is there anything else you see here that you want? You can have anything. And I said, oh, you're moving? And he said, yeah. Totally nosy. It was like, where are you moving to? It's none of my business. He told me Indonesia. He's moving to Indonesia. I said, wow, that's exciting. Is that for work? Again, completely no. That's not my business. Why am I asking him this? Why? Why are you moving to Indonesia? Because he wants to have a life where he lives lots of different lives in his life. He wants to do lots of different things. And I said, wow, that's wonderful. I don't know what happened to September. Don't ask me. I don't know where September went. I'm confused. I think it's still July. Is anybody else having this problem? I don't understand what is happening with time. What is happening with time, friends? I think I might do this little guy down here because I think it will be kind of more straightforward and easy. I used the quotation marks just so the furniture gods are less likely to jinx me. I have a lot of wood I can knock on. I got some oak, I got some walnut, I got some veneer, I got whatever this is, maybe mahogany. That should cover me. A little bit of rattan for good luck. I'm going to start because they're getting annoyed. YouTube's annoyed. Everyone's annoyed. Where have you been? What are you doing? The algorithm is going to punish you now. Okay, here we go. I began by clearing out the rest of my summer collection, and I reflected back on the last few months and whether or not I had been living many lives. Let's see. I went to a wedding, did a road trip to the exotic land of Oregon where I saw all my first cousins at a family reunion that my parents hosted. Look, there they are. They've been married 60 years, and they are the best. They are the absolute best. I did some river rafting, drove a golf cart over a very skinny and rickety bridge. That was exciting. Phew. Went to the beach, froze at the beach, went shopping with my sis at the beach, went gaga and then made a fool of myself over the hanging baskets at the beach, was in a play, and moved my middle daughter back down to Southern California for her junior year in college. Ooh, I also got to pick up this. My cousin saw it by the side of the road in her neighborhood and scooped it for me. That'll be a fun one. But for now, I think I'll start with this dated dude. This is a classic, my friends. The orange oak 1980s or maybe 90s coffee table. This one had lots of little scratches, dings, and stains, but was otherwise nice and solid. It was filthy though, so I gave it a thorough spray of some simple green degreasing cleaner, and then scrubbed all the surfaces and routed lines before giving it a thorough rinse. While the table dried out in the autumn sunshine, I found myself thinking about paint wash shades. So I headed back to the workshop for a quick refresher in color theory-based paint mixing with Scott Gelattley that I've been enjoying over on Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community of creatives where you can find endless inspiration. I started out with painting and color mixing, But now I'm rediscovering my love of cake decorating with The Man About Cake, and have even checked out knitting with Caddy Melville Ledbetter, and I think I am finally feeling brave enough to actually give it a try. And yes, you are witnessing here my first cast on. It was an exciting moment. With 2,000 classes in more than 20 different categories, including painting, cake decorating, knitting, quilting, sewing, and cooking, there is literally something inspiring here for every person. The instructors are world-class, and there are classes to fit any interest and skill level. And you can learn anywhere, watch on your own time, and I love how clearly the classes are broken down into short, concise, easy to follow lessons. Plus, you can connect with other like-minded enthusiasts, ask questions, and share your own ideas. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. So click the link in the description box of this fable, because new members only will get the first full year of Craftsy Premium for only $1.49. And yes, I double checked on that because that's amazing. And thank you to Craftsy for sponsoring this fable. Back to the workshop for some sanding. I knew I wanted to remove all of that old orange finish, both in hopes of getting out the little scratches and stains, but also I wanted to lighten the piece up, but still be able to appreciate its patterned veneers and its solid elements. I moved around the top with a 120 grit pad, and then I switched over to my foam abrasives to handle that curved outer edge and those cool corner legs. You can see here my flat abrasive flattened out that bottom trim piece, but solid trim pieces like this are pretty forgiving as long as you can catch a mistake like that quickly. So using a foam sander, I was able to reshape that little piece there, no problem. I made sure to clean up the bottom of the table as well, sanding those edges while it was up on its side, and then I continued on. What we're gonna do is, pick up that end, I'll pick up this end, lift and put it this way, crossways this way. All right, ready? Ellie came out and helped lift the table up onto the workbench, and then I hit that magazine shelf. Perfect. Thank you. No problem. Okay, I have got this big old coffee table mostly sanded. It was a big sanding job, but actually not a terribly hard one because that old finish and the stain it was pretty easy to get them to let go. So it wasn't too terrible. I was really fortunate. I was able to get out all of the little scratches and dings in, of course, the solid oak, but this veneer is pretty robust. It handled that bit of sanding I needed to do just fine. I kind of have a soft spot for these coffee tables. They are everywhere. Nobody wants them. So many people have pieces like this. I don't know if it is a promising candidate in terms of a flip, meaning, can I actually make some money from it, from my efforts? I don't know. But here's the thing. Just the other day, I got an email from Pottery Barn, and still very popular, apparently, is that kind of coastal modern look. And I took note of a coffee table that they have there. And those coastal modern looks are not, you don't see turned legs and scalloped edges. You see very minimalist lines. You see curved, rounded corners. You see things oftentimes that kind of are similar to these guys that were popular in the 1980s and maybe kind of the 90s as well. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to overthink and get too fancy with trying to get all designy, but I'm going to use that Pottery Barn email that I have as kind of inspiration and see if I can recreate that using this table. I think I will use a good old-fashioned tried and true method of a paint wash to kind of mellow out the wood and see if we can kind of create that beachy coastal modern look using, all this cool routed stuff. And that's kind of a cool little detail it's got going on there. The little interior bits of the inside of your elbow, right there. Behind the knee. That's kind of how I think of those guys. You really don't see them much at all. So I'm kind of tempted to have those be more solid paint, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and go over everything, bring it all up to a 180 or a 220 grit level, and then we'll go from there. After I finished my finish sanding, I gave the whole table a good spray and wipe down to remove any dust. And then I got out some paint colors to make a custom paint wash. I started with this kind of grayish color, something kind of in between a gray and a beige. But I wanted to warm it up a bit, so I added this neutral color that is a bit warmer. It's got a bit of rosiness to it. And then I actually did a little dollop of lavender to kind of cancel out the strong yellow or orangeness of that oak. I added water to make it a 50-50 wash, and when I was happy with it, I started applying it. You can do paint washes in small sections, but I find that I tend to prefer painting what I call an entire field, which is basically a section of whatever you're working on in which everything is connected. Then I dampen down the field with a misting bottle and then use a lint-free rag to wipe back the excess paint. Now, you may be saying, what about all those veneers going in different directions? I used to stress out about that issue, but I have come to find that if I do what I call directional buffing of the paint wash while it is still damp, it really usually does not matter. Here you can see I'm buffing the wash and not much is coming off on my rag, but it is pushing it enough that it's laying it down directionally correct. You save a lot of time doing it this way. Once I finished the top, I applied the wash to the rest of the table. So right now I'm just taking my little artist painter's brush. This isn't anything special, it's just a little cheapy thing. And I'm adding a layer of my custom paint wash color to these little details here. I want these little sections in here, this kind of, I don't know what you'd call this, sort of this kind of cut out inside detail here. And then all of the inside of these kind of little routed moments, I want those to be more opaque. So we're kind of leaning into the architecture of the piece, but it's very tone on tone, right? It's very tonal. Such a subtle little detail, but I think what it's going to achieve is our eye is going to be able to appreciate that much more the depth, the architecture of the piece. I finished the architectural details and then hit the inside of the legs. It's amazing how as you go and as these little tiny points get cleaned up, so to speak, how much better and better and better your paint wash looks. Yes, it's true. Your paint wash can look really ragged until everything is covered. And then suddenly, the piece makes sense. Okay, time to top coat. This is a satin polyurethane that I'm going to apply with this nice soft big synthetic brush. I'm going to dampen it down here with my misting bottle. Make sure everything is nice and clean. And then I applied 2 coats to the body and ultimately did 4 coats on the top. Down from there, friends. Oh, yeah, there we go. Who wants wheels on their coffee table? Is that really something you want?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay. Do you remember our dated dude? Scuffed and scratched and left behind from his owner's next adventure? Well, here he is now. He may not have made the boat to Indonesia, but I think our refreshed, somewhat sandy, seaside-inspired friend will soon be on his way to his own new adventure.
There we are. There we are. Spearmint. Oh, hello. I'm just here luxuriating in my Pottery Barn appointed beach house, staring out at the water. Look, the sea lions are back. Okay, actually, I'm in my garage. I really need to sweep the floor over there. There's a lot of sand over there. Not beach sand, sanding dust. But in my mind, I'm in my luxurious Pottery Barn appointed beach house. Why? Because of this table. A table that I took from a young dude on his way to Indonesia to live his best life, to live one of many amazing lives that he's planning to live. Good for you, young dude. Good for you. Rest assured your coffee table is doing well.
I know that for many people, this kind of beachy coastal look has been overdone. We've been overexposed to it, and some of us are feeling kind of ready for just some basic brown. But there are still many, 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 many people who love this look. And one way you can tell is that the major design stores like Pottery Barn keep selling it, and it does really, really well. So what do you think? Are these 80s tables worth the saving? Do you think I have a shot at selling it? And if so, what would you list it for? I can tell you that the Pottery Barn one that I'm kind of basing it on, that one I believe sells for a little bit over $1,000. Well, if you add tax and delivery, which by the way would not be until mid-December, so 2 months from now, whereas this one you could have right now. You're probably looking at more like $1,200, $1,300. So what did this table cost me? The table itself was free. We should probably throw in maybe about $10 worth of sanding pads. Gosh, I don't know, maybe $3, $4 for the paint wash, maybe another $5 for the top coat, and another $5 for just the extras like rags, etc. So what does that bring me up to? I can't remember. $25, $30? I mean, not much more than $30. Cheap. Cheapity cheap, cheap, cheap. A lot less than, $1,200, $1,300. You know, I could take that $1,000 or so plus dollars that I saved creating my beachy coastal look here and put it towards a beach vacation for next summer. Maybe I'll go to Indonesia. I have lives to live. I have many exciting lives to live. I could do that. I'll probably end up going to Oregon. We always just go to Oregon. I'm in the midst of another theater project right now, but it's only for about 4 more weeks. I'm looking to do maybe a little bit more paint by the sea, that little offshoot funny, quirky, weird thing that I do sometimes.
Does Dylan have his glow stick necklace on?
Yeah, he's got his necklace on. He's good.
And only one piece of candy, Dylan. We just got you off the whipped cream.
Kind of considering giving it its own channel here on YouTube.
Whoa, Nelly.
Biff, I'm scared.
Just stay calm and keep smiling.
Just thoughts, just spitballing. Even if the beach coastal look is not your favorite, I sure hope you enjoyed today's fable. If so, please give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment about what you think about it, because I love to hear from you. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss stuff that's coming up. And everybody get themselves some spearmint tea. I am enjoying this. This is good. Thanks so much for joining me, my friends. I'll see you next time for more Furniture Fables.